Days Gone is now 6 years old, and I thought it'd be a good time to kind of, do a review for it, chuck it on the channel, and give you my thoughts as to whether it's a good time to pick it up and play it. It unfortunately had a bit of a poor launch, but I feel like over time it did gather a bit of nostalgia about it. And this game was developed by Ben Studio, and of course it is published by Sony Interactive. It is currently on the PlayStation 4 and 5, and you can also play this on Steam now. It was sitting back around $39.99 US, depending of course on which platform you are buying it on. And I believe it's also on the PlayStation Plus library. So there's certainly a few ways that you can pick it up and play it relatively cheaply, because I believe it does go on sale a fair bit now, it being, so removed from release date. But what actually is Days Gone, and is it worth playing today in 2025? Well, essentially, it's an open world survival game, an open world RPG zombie game in which you get to traverse the map on a motorcycle, which, by the way, is pretty cool. In fact, you're going to be doing an awful lot of traversing across this map on a motorcycle, so you better believe that they've done a great job on actually the mechanics of driving this thing across the map. I've got to tell you, it's pretty satisfying to, grab your bike and go from sometimes huge distances across the world on that bike. Whether it is dodging trees, making jumps, trying to search for fuel, you're going to be spending a lot of time on it, and you better be looking after it too, because one of the mechanics you can do is actually to fix and repair your bike. And again, you're going to be doing that an awful lot too, because your bike gets dinked up through every single thing it touches, including the zombies, or should I say freakers, that you'll be bumping into along the way. Now, within this game, you're going to be taking control of Deacon, who is an outlaw, a bounty hunter, and a drifter. He's the kind of character that prefers life on the road instead of in an encampment surrounded by many other people. It doesn't mean he doesn't know many people in the world, he just prefers to be slightly on his own. Now, it takes place 2 years after the pandemic actually breaks out, and of course transforms most of the world into these freakers slash zombies. And you'll be spending your time interacting with the various different camps around the map, trying to do chores and trying to build up your relationship with them, whether it is doing little side quests for them, delivering them some meat and some food, maybe even handing in bounties of all the freakers that you have taken out. Or, of course, you could be delivering them extra people that you managed to save on the road outside. You can direct them into whichever camp you want, building up your relationship with them. And as you do build up your relationship with them, unlock better benefits and better things that you can kind of buy to upgrade your equipment. Now, the combat's pretty cool, especially the melee combat. I found the melee combat to be the most satisfying, because every single swing of whatever it is you're using feels meaty and heavy. The gunplay can be frustrating at times. I mean, sometimes, I'm trying to shoot people, and I swear, my character just cannot hit a barn door at times. But with a little bit of effort and of course a little bit of skill point allocation, you are able to shoot to a decent satisfaction. I would say that sometimes, most of the time, the AI is completely hopeless in this game. However, when it comes to combat, you're able to stealth around a camp without the camp really having any true idea of where you are and what you're doing. Sometimes you can hide in a bush right next to someone after just killing 3 of their friends, and they've still got no idea you're actually there. So the AI can be problematic at times. That's both with the human AI and of course the freaker AI as well. It can be really easy just to skate straight past them sometimes. Other times it feels like they've got a homing radar on exactly where you are and what you're doing, no matter what you do. One thing I did like about this game, though, was the scavenging. It felt sometimes like this was, a broken world, and my character Deacon had the ability to go around and salvage resources. Now, it wasn't everywhere. There wasn't things everywhere. Remember, this is 2 years after everything broke out and the world kind of disappeared. Therefore, the things that are there in the world, they are sparse in places. But I really did like that I was able to, go around the buildings, collect scrap, collect bottles, collect bandages, whatever it is, and also to make the most of cars, because there are a abundance of vehicles in this game just scattered about. Now, of course, you only ever drive a motorcycle, but there are loads and loads of vehicles for you to go ahead and search. Both the boot and the bonnet, that seems to be your limitation, but I enjoyed it. The combat off your motorcycle, however, was a little bit less enjoyable. It was really difficult sometimes to actually, make the most of it. It was more of a distraction than anything else. I think there are times when the freakers can literally rip you off your motorcycle. So if you're able to get your gun out in time and shoot them, it kind of distracts them and stops them ripping you off, which is quite handy. Honestly, I wanted to mow the zombies down. I wanted to mow the freakers down on my motorcycle, but I quickly realized that it was just something that the game just did not want you to be able to do. Although I did it every now and again, you do it at the wrong time and you can get surrounded by freakers very quickly as they rip you off your motorcycle and you're forced to defend yourself. I think the thing that I enjoyed the most about this game actually was the fuel management side of it. I don't know why I like it so much. I do love management games after all. But the fact that you have to keep an eye on your fuel tank as you're going across this map, and of course seek out that fuel when you are getting low, remembering to top it up when you reach these camps, I just found it really, really satisfying. It was something that I was kind of hoping was already in the game. I didn't realize it was, and it's a small feature that I think just works really well. However, this map is quite large. It really is quite a huge game. I believe it's like a 60-hour, 65-hour-ish game. And the map kind of, is rather large for you to explore. Unfortunately, that means you are going to be going from one side of it to the other side of it, back to the other side of it again and again and again. Now, although there is fast travel, you do have to do a lot of work to actually unlock that fast travel. So I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad point, but it is something that I did get a little bit tired of, because I'd complete a mission on one side of the map and the very next mission is across the other side of the map. Now, one thing I will say about the world, however, is that it was full of surprises. You couldn't ever really guarantee what was going to happen, because you knew that if you was going to go over to that other side of the map, something was going to pop up, some kind of event was going to take off. And it just kept the world alive and engaging, which is absolutely a good point. I just think it's really important to point out, though, that this game does have those really slow moments in the game where you are literally just trying to make your way to the next point in the game. So although the actual world combat itself is exciting, it's something that you feel like you want to explore, there's definitely times where it feels like there's just nothing around. And that kind of leads me to the main story. Now, Deacon has many interactions with many different groups, many different camps, and there is definitely a strong story here. However, I felt that the main story of the game, the main interactions of the game, was just so boring. I felt like the main story was the weakest part of this entire game. Hacking freakers down left, right, and center, that's the excitement.
What do you want, Drifter? What's your problem? One of my men escaped a Ripper camp over by Iron Butte. Got tortured, like they always do. But this time they kept asking me if you knew about it. Two bikers, two men, asking me if you'd ever seen them or heard of them.
A lot of bikes around here. What's it got to do with me?
The Ripper called them mongrels. How many drifters still flying colors around here? As if that shit matters. If we you ask me, you got a price on your head. How's it feel to be on the other side?
Now, why don't you just show me what you got, because I don't have time for your bullshit.
Whatever you say, Deke.
And there's nothing really wrong with the cutscenes in this game or the voice acting, but it did feel very, very dead-faced, and because of that, just less engaging. And most of Deke's story himself is actually told within backstory cutscenes, things that happened 2 years ago, maybe even more than that. And that just felt so just out of what we are doing. It just broke the whole game for me and broke the immersion, because I constantly had to go back to find out, what happened between Deke and his girlfriend years ago. As for the RPG elements of this game, of course, we do have our motorcycle that you can fully customize. You can upgrade a lot to do with your motorcycle, both in, physicality, how fast it can go, how much fuel it can hold, but you can also change the visuals of it as well, what it looks like. So I like that. I think that worked really well. It was certainly enough there to make the bike feel like my own. And as you play through the game, you earn experience and unlock perk points. And there's quite a few powerful perks that you can unlock depending on which way you want to go. Whether you want to go survivalist, whether you want to go with your ranged weapons, or of course whether you want to go more down the melee route. There's lots of different options here for you to pick, and really interesting perks that you can pick up and kind of change your gameplay quite significantly. You even get the ability to craft different weapons as well. As you play through the world, you're going to be picking up different recipes, in which case you can then craft different things, like for instance melee weapons, to help you have that extra impact out there on that field when you're attacking those freakers. Like this spike back, for instance, it may be a simple thing, but it's again something that I quite enjoyed. For me, Days Gone was a real mixed bag. Although I absolutely loved the zombie theme, I loved the fact that this was an open world survival game against zombies or against freakers. I just didn't enjoy the story. For me, that really griped at me, because of course that is, that pops up quite a lot of the time. You are interacting with characters in the game that you essentially cannot hurt because they are wearing some kind of hazmat suit, which means that you can't hurt them. So you just have to stealth your way through those bits, just trying to get the information, and that really irritated me as well. That being said, I found myself going back again and again to this world, hunting down hordes. And hordes, by the way, is probably the best thing about this game. It's just a shame that you get access to them so late in Days Gone. That being said, Days Gone is perfectly serviceable. I had no dashboarding, no issues. The game ran very, very well. And I think that's good. It's good to see that the game, obviously, is 6 years removed, but the game is in a state now where it works very, very well. And a lot of the glitches and the troubles that it had on release is now gone. All in all, I'm going to give this game a 6.5 out of 10. It's one I'd recommend picking up and playing if you like those open world survival games, and if you just want to, have a bit of fun. But it's not one for me that I'm going to stick at for a long time and rinse and repeat, unfortunately. But there we have it, guys. That is my review for Days Gone. If you've played this game, let me know down in the comments what you think. If it's one that you would recommend, if it's one that you would recommend steering clear of, share experiences and let the community know. But if you stuck around to the very end of the review, a big thank you to you. Don't forget to comment red banana down below. Just confuse all those people new to the channel or that didn't watch to the very end. Until next time, I've been a Monk, you've been Critically Curious, and I will see you in the next video real soon. Until then, take it easy, and of course, as ever, guys, happy gaming.
Mine.